This is MIP. Get woke.
Standing on the edge, got nothing left. I dive on.
We're all thinking about Jussie Smollett right now,
I dive on.
victim of an assault about 2 a.m. Tuesday morning in Chicago. And from the news that's been reported thus far, waiting on more information as the moments go by, it was a hate crime, a noose put around his neck, a chemical poured on him, beaten, racial and homophobic epithets hurled at him, and there are reports that the individuals were wearing MAGA hats and shouting, "This is MAGA country." The racial and homophobic epithets hurled at Jussie Smollett suggest that he was attacked for being black and for being gay. Joining us now, a brother who's built an organization to defend members of the African American and gay community. Native son, we're going to hear all about it. Emil Wilbekin joins us now. Emil, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Perfectly, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being here with us too, bro. I'm sure you just heard me describe the news as we know it now. Did I leave anything out? Is there any new news that you've heard?
No, I think you covered it. We haven't really heard more information. Definitely, there's been a photo that has surfaced that I think Lee Daniels posted of Jussie, and you can see his face, and you can see the bruises, and where he was hit in the face, and it's a horrible, horrible thing.
First of all, to give context of why you're speaking out, tell us about Native Son.
So Native Son is a movement and a platform that I created about 3 years ago to inspire and empower Black, gay, and queer men. Mm-hmm. I'm an out Black gay man. I'm HIV positive. I've been out for most of my adult life. I was editor-in-chief of Vibe magazine in the golden era of hip-hop and was out then. And so a lot of my work has been advocacy work and really representing Black gay men, but also LGBTQI plus people of color, mm-hmm. because, as in the real world, we are marginalized within the LGBTQI plus community. And so for me, it was just about living my life authentically and living my truth. And along that journey, I became friends with Jussie, and Jussie has become a very, powerful ally and advocate and activist in the Black gay community, and especially around HIV and AIDS. He sits on the board of the Black AIDS Institute in Los Angeles, and bringing that storyline to Empire this season. So this is the type of work we do, is how do we represent ourselves as Black, gay, and queer men in this world and have a voice and have a presence, and not be marginalized and not be dismissed and not be brutalized and attacked the way Jussie was.
And I mean, and that's really what it's all about too, mm-hmm. getting people to accept and acknowledge that Black gay men exist, and y'all okay. We good. Okay. It's good.
Yes.
I'm talking to this brother. Y'all see me talking to this brother right now. It's okay. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
it's really just that simple. And let's be honest, Emil. We got to do that with some of our brothers.
we got to do it everywhere. We got to do it at home. We got to do
Yeah.
it in the hood. We got to do it at church. We have to have these conversations. There are too many young black gay men who are dying of HIV and AIDS. Black gay men have the highest infection rates of HIV and AIDS in the country. And that is because of a lack of acceptance, a stigma, and shame that is put on them that they don't feel supported and whole. And so that's the other part of Native Son is how do we create a community of brotherhood and fellowship where we feel whole and we feel complete and we can lift each other up? Because for this to happen, people, he's a black man. That's what they see first. And he happens to be a gay man. This is historic. Like, this is what happens to our ancestors. This is what has happened to us throughout the history of this country. And now we're seeing it happen to a celebrity and someone who's on television.
Mm-hmm.
So money, wealth, power doesn't matter.
It had been reported that Jussie Smollett had been targeted.
Yes.
In the days preceding this with threats and what have you, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And what is that about? Give us some context. Why were people targeting? Has he been, and I should know this, maybe I just missed it. Has he been speaking out lately about Trump or about anything political per se, or do we know?
Well, Jussie comes from an activist family in Los Angeles.
That's right.
So
okay.
His roots are community. His mother's an activist. All his brothers and sisters are activists. So he's been very outspoken about a lot of things. I remember seeing him at the Trayvon Martin screening in New York at the Apollo.
Right.
He's about social justice. He's about LGBTQI plus rights and HIV and AIDS activism. So he is an activist at heart. Like, he really considers himself an actor, an artist, and an activist. And so he's been vocal. I think he's talked about on Twitter being called a black faggot almost daily. Mm-hmm. So this isn't new, but I think because he's so visible, it makes him a target.
Yeah. And again, the thing that concerns me, frankly, and I'm noticing, more of this lately, going back to 2016, but more and more. Yeah. We see these, and honestly, Emil, social media, I don't know whether it's a blessing or a curse some days.
Yeah.
Because
you're right.
We're seeing, and I'm sure you've noticed this too, more and more social media accounts with African American avatars or black avatars, but they don't think like you and me, and they attack homosexual members of the African American community. Lately, they're attacking Kamala Harris, and so we don't know how much of this stuff is, or how many of these are real people versus bots. And how many of them are real people influenced by bots that they don't know they're being influenced. I had to correct a guy on Facebook the other day that was putting somebody that said, dude, this person that you're quoting is probably not even a real person. Right. So it's a couple of layers. You have the historic misunderstanding towards the gay community on its own. But then you add the social media foolishness with it. We got to do something about this, man.
Yeah, no, but it's also the mood in the country right now because of the way, leadership is on social media and the way that people can hide behind the keyboards and these bots and avatars and bully people and harass people. It's not okay. And so when you start to see that played out in real life, the fact that a noose was put around his neck and chemicals were poured on him. I mean, this is 2019 in Chicago in front of his apartment building. This is crazy.
Yeah. Emil Wilbekin, folks, Native Son. Does Native Son have a website, or do you have a website?
Well, we mostly function on social
Good.
media.
Okay.
So on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, you can find us at Native Son now.
Folks, and this is a legitimate voice on social media.
Oh,
What
yeah.
does this type of thing? Because I want folks to be sensitive to this too. This type of thing we're seeing about Jussie.
Yes.
Did black gay men wake up this morning worried or have anxiety that something like this could happen to them today?
Well, that's the fear, right? Like I'm worried about black gay men and queer men in this country. I'm worried about the teenagers. I'm worried about young black boys who are questioning their sexual identity and trying to figure out who they are.
Right.
And then they see something like that happen.
Yeah.
And then how's that affect you if you live down south or you live in the middle
Right.
of the country?
Right.
And this is in Chicago.
Right. I know.
So,
Or you on the way to school this morning where there's bullying.
yeah.
And
You can't
and
live your truth.
right. And then we pray that what happened to Jussie doesn't encourage and enable the bullies.
Exactly. Because that's what it is.
Wow.
Bullying at its highest and ugliest form.
Yeah. So give us a sense of what your of what your plan is today, or what Native Son's plan is today, because I mean, obviously there's going to be a need. I mean, for people to hear your voice and the voice of your organization and the voice of people like you and allies with you to try to calm these waters.
Yes. So part of it is thank you to you and to Bevy Smith for having me on. Serious to have this conversation in our communities, because I think that's super important, that we actually look within ourselves and kind of galvanize ourselves and understand that we have to protect all of us, and it doesn't matter what our sexual identity or orientation are. We're black and we need to protect ourselves. The other part is that we are going to try to set up safe spaces around the country for people to come together so they can feel safe and talk about how to protect themselves, because I think this is the other part of the problem is we're not kind of paying attention. And so, there's no reason that this should have happened to Jussie by himself in the streets of Chicago. So how can we our whole thing is creating safe spaces and fellowship so that we know that we're not alone.
Yeah.
So I think having these conversations with allies, gathering and supporting each other so we feel safe. And then we're going to come with a call of action. Native Son, all the brothers are gathering from around the country, and we're on the line trying to figure out what we're going to do. We're going to put out videos today, encouraging Jussie, but also encouraging people to be safe, and just continue to fight the good fight.
Let me just say this, and folks, we're streaming this on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Make it plain. We're on Instagram, Minister with 2 T's. Share. I just want you to do it. I'm not just doing this for self-promotion. I want you to share, everybody listening, to share this conversation so people can hear Emil's voice, okay, and what he's saying. Now, my voice is important only in the sense that as a heterosexual man, I will not tolerate or abide in my circle or on this show this kind of homophobic behavior today of all days, because we all look at Empire. Don't just think about it from, this was, Jamal Lyons was not assaulted. Right. A black gay man was assaulted. It could have been your brother, your father, your uncle, your cousin, what have you. Embrace, okay, not only, this is racial and homophobic, embrace a member of the African American community today. Put that foremost in your mind. And for those who are African American, embrace a member of the LGBTQIA community today. And create an atmosphere where you don't dismiss them, but rather embrace them and make them feel that they are in a safe space with you, be it home, work, school, or what have you. Be empathetic to that. We have to be empathetic to everyone's individual and collective struggles. And today, this is real. So, and if it can happen to someone as prominent as a Jussie Smollett. This probably happened 1,000 other times last night, Emil, to people whose names we don't even know and are not in the news. Hello?
Exactly.
So that's what needs to happen. Brother, I am here, and this broadcast, this medium is available to you in any way you deem necessary. Today, tomorrow, the next day, next week. That's my solemn promise. You can ask around about me. I'm a man of my word on that. So
that's right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate
and you all be strong to get anything we can do. And folks, I hope we had this dialogue. Shut all that other stuff down. All right, black men, we got to step up. I'm talking to my brothers, cisgendered, heterosexual, whatever it is we call ourselves. Let's kill all this homophobia. Folks coming for Terry Crews, cut all that out. All right? Because Emil, is my philosophy. People have heard me say this before. When you trip off of that so hard the way some of you do, then it says that you yourself may have some answers you need to answer within yourself. All right? I'm not insecure with Emil. He's not insecure with me because we know who we are. All right? And so sometimes our insecurities betray us because it shows something about us that maybe we really need to address. So let's do away with the misunderstanding. Let's try to be as understanding as we can of one another and embrace people for who they are and where they are, because God made each and every one of us the way we are. There's nothing we can do about that. So, amen, folks. So let's do that. Emil Wilbekin, he's on Twitter at Emil Wilbekin. Again, social media, Native Son now, across social media. Let's keep in close touch, my brother. You got my number too. Text me during the day if you need to. And I'll keep in touch with you as well as this news develops, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, doctor.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too, man. Take care now. Emil Wilbekin, Native Son now. So, folks, let's be about that. Don't forget to text BELLS, BELLES, to 444-999 to support Bennett College, the Bennett Bells, the women of Bennett. Please, so they will not lose their accreditation. We're just about out of time. I'm going to do this real quick. Terrence in Florida. Not a lot of time, Terrence. Go quickly, please. God bless you. Good morning. Get woke away from impeachment.
I just want to say that y'all gonna lose the black vote in 2020 if y'all don't quit playing around. But my problem is,
who's going? How?
Too many brothers with a platform.
How?
Just sitting up here, and if I would have known better,
How?
I would have thought that black dudes jumped my brother and beat my brother up. I mean, like I said, it ain't too many brothers with a platform, and I feel like you guys are doing a lot to make the face of homophobia, pedophilia, and rape the face of a black man. That ain't true. I'm a good black man. When I see my brother getting beat up, getting jumped, I don't see him being gay. I don't see him being a Christian. I don't see him being a
but there's a lot of that stuff on social media that's coming from black men. Yes, it is on social media. It is.
We can say that about
well, put it this way. We know some of it is bots too. We know that some of it is bots too.
Men in this country. We have always fought for women's rights. We are the most liberal men in this country. Not all of us are like that.
No, I didn't say all of us are. I'm not. I'm one who's not.
And then make up the face of everything.
I'm one who's not. Okay. Hey, Terrence.
I love all my people. I don't hate no one. Terrence. But I love my people. And that brother, I see a brother. I don't see a gay man. I see my brother.
But he's gay too, though, Terrence. You can't erase. You can't erase his. You can't erase his sexuality. Hey, Terrence. Ignorant, just screaming. Oh, may I speak?
You liberals.
May I? Hey, Terrence. This is. I'm trying to watch this, y'all. Watch this. May I speak, Terrence? Okay, Terrence. Okay, Terrence. You're right. May I speak now? May I speak? Did he hang up?
Yes, you can speak, but you need to put those white liberals in check.
Okay, let me speak.
They're attacking black men for no reason.
Okay, Terrence. Okay, I'm gonna be real serious with you, my brother. I'll listen to you and I'll let you speak. Why will you not allow me to speak? What is your problem with that? Mr. Love Black Man.
Brother, it's not a lot of brothers out here, and every brother that have a platform is attacking black men.
Who is attacking black men, Terrence?
Every last one of them.
Who?
Every last one of them.
Name.
No one is. I feel like the black man has become public enemy number one around the world.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
like
watch
I
this,
said,
y'all.
we
Watch
are
this.
the most liberal group. The
Right.
most liberal group of men in this country.
Right.
We have defended everyone. We have been there for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, we're already labeled as the bad guy. And now it's this.
Who's labeling the black man as a bad guy, Terrence?
Everyone. Now there's this narrative.
Including black women?
What? I love my sister.
No, I'm asking you. Are you saying? I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you. She's screaming. Bot. You just screaming and over talking. This is a bot.
I'm not a bot.
This is a bot.
I'm a black
Then be
man.
quiet.
I'm a
Then listen to what I'm saying. Are you saying that black women are attacking black men? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not a Republican. I'm a black man.
Where did you go?
American, black, descendant of slaves.
There it is. I got it. He said it. Black descendant of slaves. This is it. I got it out of him. This is the bot. This is the bot. That's the whole thing. This is the brother who said that Kamala in real, because she from Jamaica. This is the black hater. You are the problem, Terrence. You are the problem.
You're gonna have a problem in 2020. You're not talking
Terrence,
about us now.
you are a black Republican troll. That's what you are. You are a troll. That whole thing about descendant of slaves is some garbage.
Upset, frustrated, black.
Sell out Uncle Tom is what you are. That's exactly what you are, doing all this screaming and rhetoric. You just like them other fake black trolls on Twitter pushing this descendant of slave stuff. We all are descendant of slaves.
I am frustrated. No, we ain't all nothing. No, we're not all nothing. What my descendants went through, nobody else went through.
He's all for black people except only he's got his own thing. 1 minute he's about all the black folk. Now he's not. Check this out, y'all. This is an example. And the reason he called when I was talking about black homophobia. You notice he called when I brought that up. Nobody else called, but you, because you do this. You're a homophobe. You hate your own people. This is you. Brother, I'm going to pray for you, man. But I'm glad you called me because I wanted to expose this descendant of slaves foolishness. This is something that's made up. This is not in the black discourse. This is not a part of our history. This is just you running your mouth. You're a troublemaker, Terrence. You're a troll. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, when you see on social media anybody talking about I'm a descendant of slaves, I want you to hear this brother's voice. It's him. He's one of the people who's pushing that line, attacking our sister Kamala, attacking all of our other brothers and sisters under the guise of being super black. We know who you are, Terrence. You exposed. I'm glad you called.
What I had with Kamala is her record. Not because she.
There ain't nothing wrong with her record. Say something about, but you don't say nothing about no real black Republicans. You don't attack. Say something about Clarence Thomas. Say something about Clarence Thomas right now. Say something about David Clark right now. Say something about David Clark right now. Say something about Ben Carson right now. Say it. Say it. But you only attack Kamala Harris. We know who you are. You better say something right now. I'm done. I'm done. You exposed. Sell out Uncle Tom, undercover black Republican, Russian troll bot. That's what you are.
Kamala Harris. I don't agree with her record. And it's a
do you agree with David Clark's record? Well, no. Do you agree with Sheriff David Clark's record? Do you agree with Sheriff David Clark's record?
I don't agree with him. He's a traitor. I'm not calling her a traitor. What I'm saying is her record is shameful.
But the record that y'all promote about her is a lie. The record you all promote about her, the record you promote about her is a lie.
If I vote for anybody,
this is a troll, y'all. So the only reason I'm keeping this brother on because I want you all to see. I want you all to see what a troll is.
Touch on what's going on with my people. Kamala Harris.
All right. Yeah, but no, you attack Kamala. No, you attack Kamala with this whole descendant of slaves things. You attack her, but this whole descendant of slaves things is ridiculous.
The blood that flows through this country is the blood of my people, and nobody's doing anything about it. We're still the bottom class. We're still suffering.
Super black.
Still suffering in this country.
Super black. He's blacker than all of us, y'all. He's blacker than Malcolm X.
You don't understand.
He's blacker than. I don't understand. You know I don't understand. I don't understand nothing about blackness, y'all. Right?
We're still suffering.
Right? I don't understand that.
All my life, and the Democrats don't even talk about us.
Terrence, I'm letting you get it all out, but this is it, brother. This is it.
Ghettos, and my people are suffering. And the United States government put us in the ghettos. No one else put us in the ghettos. The United
Terrence,
States
what do you do? What do you do for a living,
United
brother?
States
What
government
do you,
chooses
Terrence?
winners, and the United
Because
States
are you on your way to work?
government
What do you do for a
chooses
living,
losers.
brother?
They made us the
He just
losers.
talking.
They took everybody else out the
Is he
ghetto.
reading something?
Gave them the New Deal, and they took us and they put us in the ghettos. Where's our New Deal, Mark? Where's our New Deal? Where is our New
Terrence
Deal,
is
Mark?
about to get me strangled by a white woman. Brittany gonna strangle me because she gets she gonna commit a crime against me because you talking crazy. I need to ask him though, Terrence, do you have a job? What do you do for a living?
Where's my people New Deal, Mark?
What do you do for a living,
That's all I want
Terrence?
to know.
What do
Where
you do
is
for a
my
living?
people New
A
Deal?
lot of us are struggling
Everybody
for that, Terrence, but you ain't in the organization. What
What
organization are you in working for black liberation? What organization are you in working for black liberation?
Nobody want to talk about.
Pot him down. Pot him down.
Y'all put us.
This is the example, folks. So this is what I want you all to hear audibly. What is going on social media right now? This the filibustering, the mouth running, the talking, the screaming, from people who you've never heard from before that have any concern about our liberation struggle. If you are not in an organization struggling for our liberation, see, I'll be calling up here saying, well, how can I support this organization, Native Son, now? If you're not doing that, and you're just running your mouth on my phone or tweeting on social media, you ain't really about it. You ain't really about it. I wonder what Terrence's Twitter handle is. I wonder if he... Terrence, what's your Twitter handle? He's look at him, he's still going. Terrence, what's your Twitter handle? Are you on Twitter?
I don't tweet.
I don't tweet? You just call and harass me. Yes, you do.
Tweet, sir.
You got a Twitter handle, I bet you do. What's your name on Facebook?
I am not a Republican.
What's your name on Facebook?
I am not a
What's your name on Facebook? What organization are you in working for the liberation of our people? Name it. Name it. Name an organization. Then name the organization you in working for our people. Name the organization you in. Descendant of slaves.
American descendant slave. I don't have an organization. It's just me.
The organization is Black American Descendant of Slaves. That's the hashtag on Twitter.
And my people do, and they do nothing for my people.
I'm gonna pray for you,
y'all
brother.
Put us in the ghettos, and y'all left us there, and then y'all tell us we need to pull up our bootstraps. When y'all use the shoes that y'all are running in, y'all.
I hope you don't commit suicide. All right, I gotta go.
Same shoes to step on the backs of my people. Y'all made us slaves. Y'all had us build the White House. Y'all had us build all the institutions.
Was that a executive decision? Just pot up and see if he's still
Made
talking.
money off my people.
All right, Terrence, you finished? I gotta go. You finished? Do you have a job? What do you do for a living?
My brother, I just want you to be more responsible. That brother got beat up and got jumped by white racists, and you had the nerve to make the whole discussion about what black men need to do. Not all black men are bad. I'm not a bad person. I don't hate no one.
I've never had anybody question my love for my own people, but you devil.
I'm not saying
you because of what you are. Because your job is to call up here and attack me, Mr. Lover of black men, Mr. Black Man Stand Up. You don't do anything but call up here and attack me.
Let me say something.
Let you say something. You've been running your mouth the whole time. He wants me to let him say something.
Almost half of y'all don't even vote to help the black sisters. Most of you make more money than the black sisters.
Who?
But you have convinced some of my sisters that they need to be fighting for you. When the media bring up women, they're not talking about black women. They're not talking about Hispanic women. They're talking about white women. When they bring up
Terrence, I gotta go.
Women, they're not
I'm gone.
I'm gone,
Terrence.
You got,
but
women.
this is what's on Twitter right now, y'all. I just want to show you an example. I'm only spending time. I'm showing you an example of what this is, and that descent, and that
Hispanic women.
Terrence, that descendant of that descendant of slaves argument is a troll argument.
You got my sisters fighting for your cause.
All right.
And then when you win your cause,
I have everybody's permission to hang up on Terrence. Would y'all be offended if I hang up on him?
Getting hung in prison, and white women ain't saying nothing. My sisters getting beat down.
All right.
And white women ain't saying nothing.
Some are, but okay. He hung up. He did. He hung up before I did. All right, y'all. The show's over. That was a part of the show too, but I want y'all to hear that because that's what's going on. But notice when I talked about how we have to be more embracing, he he felt that he had to call in. All right. Everybody enjoy the day. Lift up the name of James Ingram. Lift up the name of Jussie Smollett. If all minds are clear, it has been made